They say that hard work won't kill you, but I don't want to take the chance. Working hard is very uncorrelated with wealth. The top 10 men in the world make more than the bottom 3.5 billion people combined. 10 men are wealthier, make more, have more to their name than 3.5 billion, half of the world. Now, how hard can 10 men work in one day? Maximum 240 hours, right? How much can 3.5 billion people work if they only work 1 hour a day? 3.5 billion hours. Work is uncorrelated with success. It's sometimes a necessity. People don't understand causation and correlation. I read that in India there's about 10 million people that work in the dumpsters that pick out trash, small pieces of plastic, and they make on average $14 a month, and they work from dawn to dusk. Are they working harder? Of course they are. America and the world's full of people working 3 times as hard. If I could go back in time, without a doubt, I would tell myself to be lazier. Without a doubt. I mean, it is I will tell you, even though I joke about it, true painful realization was the fact that I didn't know what one of my business partners just told me. I was just talking to Alex Mary. He said, he's an engineer, PhD, really smart guy. He said, people don't understand. In engineering, you never confuse input and output. You always try to put the least amount of input to get the most output. That's what technology is. So, when you're building a car, you never try to figure out how to put the most gas in to go 100 miles. You try to how to figure out is how do you just put 1 gallon in and the car goes 100 miles. You guys get where I'm coming from? So what happens with entrepreneurs is you start focusing on input, but you gotta be focused on output.
Too much of anything is a bad thing. Life without balance results in an unbalanced life. Walking around the block every day is good. Walking or running 6 hours a day is bad. Eating an apple a day is good. Eating only apples is bad. You won't get all the protein and vitamins and nutrients your body needs. Working hard, burning the midnight oil, doing it until is good. Working nonstop, never taking a vacation, never having any fun, never spending quality time with the people you love, working day after day, month after month, never taking a break year after year is bad. If you've got your nose to the grindstone all the time, how are you ever going to spot new opportunities, consider new ideas? It doesn't work that way. You've got to stop and ponder where you've been and where you're going. You've got to reflect so you know if you're even on the right track. After all, if you're always working, you must be successful. No, it doesn't work that way. For workaholics, there's never enough work. They can work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, take 2 jobs, work them back to back. The only satisfaction is fighting off sleep, denying life's pleasures, getting more tasks done. Some people are impressed with this type of behavior. But just because a workaholic spends too much time working, that doesn't mean he or she ends up with the most money. These people are generally more task-oriented than results-oriented. They're busy being busy, not busy being productive. Workaholics generally end up alienating their families, losing their health, facing a crisis of values.
So I do think you have to be aware, but hard work is very uncorrelated with wealth. That basically it's a primitive impulse that if you say to people, you know what, working hard is going to get you far, it jives with our primitive mind because 50,000 years ago, it was true. There was no technology. The man who, hunted with a spear, but even then, the one who had a spear versus the one who just used his hands still won. Technology's been beating everything. So what actually is correlated with wealth is using tools before most people are.
Now, wouldn't you prefer a life of productivity rather than a life of tasks? Of course. When you schedule your time and take advantage of your time, you can work smarter instead of working longer, and you'll probably end up getting more done than the workaholic, and still have time for other things in life. Enlightened self-interest says, I will look for new ways to work smarter by focusing on doing more per hour instead of doing more hours. It says I will run my day so my day doesn't run me. Enlightened self-interest also says that a life worth living comes from a life of balance and moderation. Too much of anything, even good things, will sooner or later throw you off track. Now, here's a key technique that you can use in your life to help keep you on the right track. This technique is called visual chain thinking. Ambitious people don't see each step toward their goals as a singular step, each discipline as a singular discipline, each project as a singular project, each sale as a singular sale. With everything they do and with every discipline they adhere to, they see it all as part of a chain, a link in the chain of events and actions that will lead them to their final destination. Every action and every discipline today is a link in the chain. Every action and every discipline tomorrow is a link. Every action and every discipline in the future is a link. When you can see that every link in the chain will eventually lead you to the things you want most out of life, to the person you want to become, then you won't grow discouraged or fearful or impatient with today. When you can see where you're going through visual chain thinking, even on the toughest days, you'll keep building your ambition by knowing where you're going, not just where you are today. Part of this visual chain thinking is built when you decide on your direction, when you can see where you're going to end up before you get there, when you can see California while staring at the east side of a 14,000-foot mountain. And building your visual chain of thought begins when you have well-defined plans for your career, your family activities, your investments, and your health. Your plans and goals are your visual chain, knowing where you're going before you get there. Develop a plan, a game plan. It's ironic how we all understand the importance of mapping out a strategy for a football game or a basketball game. Not one professional team in the world begins a game without a complete strategy. But few of us take the time to map out a strategy for our lives, a game plan. But it's important.
It's also, ladies and gentlemen, necessary that you be creative when you're working on your ideas, that you understand the importance of changing up, of readjusting your strategies. Many times we can have a great idea, but if you're not advancing it in the right way and things don't happen, you become discouraged and think the idea doesn't work. No, that's not true. It's necessary that we become creative. I remember when I was in New York walking down the street, and a guy approached me and said, "Hey, mister, can I shine your shoes?" And I said, "No, I'm in a hurry. I don't have time." I kept walking. Someone else said, "Hey, man, your shoes look cluttered. May I shine your shoes?" I said, "No, I don't have time. I'm sorry, I'm busy." And I was walking faster, and many people solicited me for my business. And then finally, a young man stepped in front of me, and he said, "Excuse me." And he started counting, 97, 98, 99, 100. He said, "Sir?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Come here, please." I said, "What is it?" He said, "Today is my birthday. And every year, just to thank God for another year of life, the 100th person who passes my shoe shine stand, I offer them a free shoe shine. Would you give me the honors?" I said, "Why, sure." I got up on the shoe shine stand, George, and I sat there, and he shined my shoes diligently. And when I got down, I looked at them, they were sparkling. And I was walking away, and I said, "Thank you." And I stopped, I said, "Excuse me, but how much do you usually charge?" He said, "Only $2. I said, "I tell you what, today's your birthday. Here's $5, keep the change." He said, "Thank you." As I was walking away, looking in the opposite direction at other people coming, he started counting again. 97, 98, 99, 100. It's necessary that you be flexible.
Who here is feeling a little bit burnt out? Okay, these are signs that you're doing it wrong.